Longtime viewers of my channel know I have kind of a habit of tweeting something completely innocuous and harmless and then suddenly triggering a whole bunch of console fanboys for multiple days at a time. Well, what do you know, it happened again the other day, because I had the audacity to point out that Sony isn't making money off of Bloodborne, and that's a really stupid decision for them to be doing. Because at this point, it is a conscious decision for them to not be supporting Bloodborne or not be making money off of Bloodborne. They have every capability in the world to continue to make money off of this game, and they are actively choosing not to do so. That's a really stupid thing to do. So Pirate Nation tweeted out a screenshot of Bloodborne Magnum Opus. It is a massive mod that greatly enhances the experience of Bloodborne while emulated on PC. It restores a bunch of cut content, and the fact that so many people are working on this for free should just highlight to you how much money Sony is leaving on the table right now. I quote tweeted Pirate Nation and said, "Sony's dedication to not making money off of Bloodborne on PC is astounding. This should not be controversial. This should not be weird to say. This should be objectively true to flipping everybody. Sony is actively choosing not to make money off of Bloodborne, despite them staring in the face of so much overwhelming evidence that people would buy the shit out of it, especially on PC. There is so much work being put into emulating Bloodborne because Sony absolutely refuses to just port it over here, or get somebody to announce an actual remake or remaster, or do literally anything to preserve this game. From Software is at the peak of their popularity. I really don't know what they're waiting for. And yeah, if you're not going to give the product to the people who want the product, they're going to look elsewhere for the same experience. Hence the emulation of Bloodborne and now the modding of Bloodborne. Sony could have profited off of this at any point. They are actively choosing not to, and it makes no sense. But here's where things get spicy. I got a response from someone named @XurPS5 Pro, who said, "I hope Sony makes Bloodborne PS5 version with 120 FPS, but no PC port, laughing emoji, PC fanboys will be crying." I quote tweeted this person and said, "Bloodborne is literally already on PC at 120 FPS for free, but go off, I guess." The modding and the work that's being done on Bloodborne on PC is absolutely incredible, and it's like I said, if Sony actively chooses not to give us a purchasing option, they can't be surprised when we find other ways to get the product. We don't need them. If they want to charge us for an easier and more supported version of the game, we would happily pay for it, but the window of opportunity is rapidly closing for that. But this is where things get really fun. I got a response from someone named Fallen Toast with an anime profile picture, because those always have the absolute best takes on the entire internet, and they said, "PC elitists spend thousands of dollars into building their systems and show off their power and specs. Also, PC elitists won't stop talking about emulators, piracy, and ways to play for free." Now, we're going to get into the responses to this tweet, because Fallen Toast got a lot of responses from people trying to correct the absolutely stupid thing they just said, and boy did they try to defend themselves really, really poorly. But first, let's look at this. You're misusing the template. When people do this, the person, also person, it's supposed to expose hypocrisy, that you say one thing and then do another, or that you say one thing and then say something that contradicts it. But these two things are not contradictory, even a little bit. PC elitists will spend a lot of money on their system and often show off their systems if they're proud of them, yes. The fact that they also talk about emulators and ways to play games for free, that does not contradict the fact that they have a PC. There is also literally nothing elitist about talking about emulators and ways to play games for free. There is nothing elitist about that. It is not an elitist thing to have an expensive PC or to show off your expensive PC. It's not elitist to talk about the fact that the PC has access to emulators. None of these things are contradictory, nor are they indicative of an elitist attitude. You're just describing what PC gaming can give you and saying it makes you an elitist if you partake. Methinks you are insecure. @Oyashiro's top guy responds and says, "And that's bad because?" And Fallen Toast says, "One spends a lot on their systems but won't actually buy their games. Well, it's not like you would own them either way, with PC being fully digital and all." So apparently not owning digital games on the PC is bad. Not owning digital games on the console is okay. You know you don't actually own your digital games on console either, right? Like 90% of the time you don't own them, just the same way that 90% of the time on PC you don't own them. But also, ironically, you're talking about emulation in this thread, which, newsflash, if I have an emulated copy of a game on my computer, no one's taking that from me. No one's DRMing that away from me. So, ironically, the thing that got you to enter the ring, the dastardly world of emulation and piracy, yeah, those are two methods of actually owning your game. But, go off about how PC gamers don't own games. But also, you say that we don't buy games? You're talking shit about us not buying games? My boy, Sony won't sell it to us. PC gamers absolutely buy games. We buy games way more than console gamers. I'm not even going to entertain this idea that PC gamers don't buy games or there's no money being generated by PC game sales, because obviously there are, and you're stupid. But think about this. We're talking about Bloodborne. And Bloodborne is being emulated, and Bloodborne is being modded, and the community is taking Bloodborne into their own hands. And now you're complaining about how PC gamers spend a lot on their machines but won't actually buy their games. My boy, if Sony's not going to sell it to us, what do you want us to do? We can't buy something that no one is selling to us. That's the whole problem. The Rog says, because 30 frames for a game like Bloodborne is atrocious. If Sony didn't want to do it, let the PC guys have it. Fallen Toast says, it's a 2015 PS4 game. So is that justification for the 30 frames? Or is that you dismissing the game because it's old? But what's the argument here? Who cares that it's a 2015 PS4 game? Why is that relevant? Is that you justifying the fact that it's 30 frames? Or is that you trying to dismiss the fact that other people on other platforms might want it? Like, why would you want an old game? Well, believe it or not, old games can be really good. Games don't expire. Fun doesn't expire. Good game design doesn't expire. And 30 frames in a Souls-like, especially a fast-paced one like Bloodborne, is an atrocity to the whole Souls-like genre. Pointing out that this is a decade-old PS4 game, that's not actually an argument. Alex says PC players own more games than anybody on console. What do you mean? Fallen Toast says owning a digital user's license is not owning anything. Again, that's no different from how it is on console. It was just a few months ago that Concord, a paid console game with physical releases, was literally taken away from you. How are we trying to argue that digital users licenses are an exclusively PC thing? And again, the irony of you bringing this up in a thread about Bloodborne. If you have Bloodborne on PC via emulation, no one is digital user licensing that game away from you. It's yours. Those game files are yours. They're not leaving your computer unless you delete them. Can you say the same of your digital console games? Wesley says if Bloodborne was on PC, people would buy the PC version. Alas, it is not, so the community makes their own, quote, port, which you can rip from a legit copy. Fallen Toast says, if you already have a legit copy, you might as well play the legit copy. Holden says, you mean like emulation? We are able to play it that way through emulation at 120 FPS. Fallen Toast says, yeah, because suddenly everyone is an expert at making their own ROMs. First of all, you can't tell people to do a thing and then get pissy with them when they do the thing. You told them to do the thing. You can't be upset now that they're doing the thing or dismissive because they're doing the thing. If you have a legit copy, play the legit copy. Okay, I'm playing the legit copy via emulation. Ugh, how dare you do the thing I said. Suddenly, everyone's an expert on making ROMs. Well, have you ever considered the fact that if you play on PC, you probably know how to put a disk into your fucking PC and Google how to make a ROM? It's really not that difficult. Obviously, I'm not stupid. Obviously, I'm not saying that everyone who emulates every game makes their own unique ROM. But if the argument is that making a ROM is suddenly this really difficult thing, it's really not. You don't know what you're talking about. This exchange is fun. Jordan Porter says, literally only spent $680 for my PC, so where are you getting this thousands number from? Toast says, do you consider yourself a PC elitist? If not, then this message wasn't for you. If yes, then reconsider things because you aren't one, not when you are that reasonable. Nugget says, the fuck is a PC elitist anyways? We don't call ourselves that. Toast says, that's how it works. Nobody calls themselves something negative. It's other people who call you that based on what you say and do. An example of what I consider a PC elitist is OP. That's me, because bringing up 120 FPS and emulation is free is showing off. I'm sorry, I'm the elitist here because I was responding to the person who brought up 120 FPS and a price tag because they were talking about a re-release of the game? I'm sorry, I'm the elitist here? Someone said this in response to me pointing out that Sony's not making money off of Bloodborne on PC, and that's a really dumb thing for them to do. I get this response, and then I respond to them, but suddenly, I'm the elitist because I brought up 120 FPS, and I'm showing off. My boy, I need you to delete your account. I need you to get a job. Your life right now is not sustainable. You need more brain stimulation. Angel says you don't need to spend over $1,000 on PC. PC is way cheaper, way better than PS5 and Xbox Series X. That's fact. Fallen Toast says being cheap is never the way to go. Also lies. Even if I don't spend over $1,000 on PC, I will certainly have to do so if I also want a monitor, a mouse, and a keyboard. Okay, you'll spend over $1,000 if you want a PS5 Pro and a nice TV, and also an extra controller, like a cool Pro Elite controller, and a year of PlayStation Network. And like I can make anything any price if I'm also allowed to add random shit onto the price tag. Kishirika says not the argument you want to make, my guy. Consoles have more expensive new releases, paid online to play games you already paid for, and now you want to add TVs in there as well. Also, if being cheap is never the way to go, then why do consoles exist? Good point. Toast says, some people here keep telling me consoles are the same price as good PCs now. Are they lying? No, you can absolutely get a good PC for the price of a PS5 Pro. You can get a decent PC for the price of a PS5 regular, if you're willing to buy used and buy parts individually, or if you just want a fucking Steam Deck. PC gaming is not expensive to get into anymore. Kishirika says long-term, a $1,000 setup will be cheaper than a $500 console, a TV, and its membership. So no, they aren't lying. Toast says speaking about long-term is definitely cheating because I wasn't. And with PC, I would have to consider the price of upgrading parts in the future. But you get to sell those parts and make the money back, and also upgrading is completely optional. It's entirely optional. There's no generations on the PC. Kishi says, unfortunately for you, when you brought it up, the full setup, you invited it in. If you can add conditions, so can I. If you have to figure in having to buy a new console every 7 or 8 years, 4 years, and you get the mid-gen refreshes, a new GPU is much cheaper than a full new system, and you only have to upgrade when you feel like it. Currently, the most demanding games on the market require a 6-year-old GPU. Most games require an 8-year-old GPU. Toast says, upgrading when you feel like it applies to console too. No, you have hard generations on the console. Are you not paying attention? Kishi says it doesn't. You can only upgrade when the manufacturers allow it. That too. It's not like you have a big, wide selection of options on the PC or on the console with hardware. That's the whole point. A PlayStation gamer can't get anything better than a PS5 Pro. PC gamers have plenty of options to make a better system, not even mentioning the new GPUs coming out. You don't have to swap out full systems either. Toast says a PlayStation player can't get anything better than a PS5 Pro right now because there's nothing better than the PS5 Pro right now on the console market, but that is not exactly relevant because it's obvious that power is not a priority to console gamers. Games and convenience are. Oh, power is not a priority to console gamers. Then why do they keep overcharging you with the promise of power? Why does the PS5 Pro even exist if console gamers are not worried about power? Oh my god. We'll wrap it up here. Brett says, it's so funny to me when console elitists worry about the wallets of companies or even other people. How about worry about your own wallet? I'll find the best deal for myself. I could care less about a company's bottom line. Toast says, we worry about our own wallets. That's why we don't buy PCs. You're not getting through to people like this. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. I'm all for trying to get people to come over to the PC. I'm all for trying to get people to abandon the consoles because I think the console industry is a blight on the gaming industry as a whole, and it's holding the whole thing back. At least the console industry as it is today. And I have literally hundreds of videos on my channel dedicated to talking about why. But then people like this come along. You didn't want any actual discourse. You didn't want any actual challenging of your mindset. You didn't actually want to learn anything. You just wanted to try and dunk on PC gamers while knowing nothing about the PC market, or how PC gaming even works, or what the difference between PC and console gaming even is. You wanted your dunks, and then when you didn't get them, you didn't know what to do. So you just made a complete ass out of yourself in my mentions, and made it really annoying for me to open my notifications for 3 days. Because you were just getting roasted across time and space and never tapping out. So GG's, Fallen Toast. I hope you think this was all worth it. I hope you think you won. I don't think you really did. Okay, so now it's time for the Doofus Club shoutouts. I said in the last video that I'm going to do these Doofus Club shoutouts to the tune of the Nations of the World song from the Animaniacs. So here we go. I'm going to do this in one breath, in one try, and then I'm going to pee my pants. Okay, here we go. I might have just joined you. Damn right, I said so no Kage, a true Texan 940, and how is the number one in saving for a motorcycle is Creed Warrior and oh fuck my life. A Furry Raptor 1 Maxage of Destator 2009 Wild Gamer 2001 Partial Me Name Brian Collins and Chap and Vendetta Autry and Voxalto and Envoy Love Colin and Native Cypher and Blacktober James Showcases Cloaked Onyx and Cloaked Onyx. I own 4 copies of Cloak 2006 Reborn Mew What the Fan Art Nick have 88 miles for this King of the Doofuses Don't Step on Snake and Wolf of Midnight Gaming with Dead People and Stick Rider Cunt Connoisseur and then Kev Dog in 1992. It's Big Venus the Beastums the Steve Wynn Studios of Film McCracken Biscuit 101. It's Anarog Hero Culture Tom from Spokane. OMG Gaming and Pope Raphael the Rat King. Are we cringing yet? Tariq Brown, Max 550, Joe from Seattle has a really big peen. It's Elite, and then it's Bojnik, and then it's Mag and Nick, Thornskane, and X Machina Gamma. It's Ono Alex is a cult leader, and Severin Evans, and Mr. Spawning No 3 Nick Donegan, and White Trouble Donnie West, and Joe say, does the word really fast. It's Real Zer Gob Gobson, and Vesic Canary, and Doug Nig Z. It's Rogue Winter 0901, and then Bobby Hitter, Hangman for Hire. Oh. Ed Omega Grimsy, Begavo Peak Frost Crystal, age 9, 1917, Biogenesis, Elden the Hope, and then Jimmy Chops, yeah, I can't flipping Floppy Pingus 9070 in action. Is Michael Muzio, Minga Key, Kushka Ghost of the Scruffy Skull, is Femtanga, Dojo 6, Mio Bunny, Vasco at Age, Omnistep 94, Blue Hook, Mr. Self-Destruct Raptor, Tim Willie, JJ knows Joe, what knows what we want, but what the fuck does that mean? And actually, Backyard Baseball is goated. Jody Breeze, Mr. Techno Squeak, fuck my life. Hang on, we're gonna start it over. We're not cringing enough yet. Hang on, start the fucking thing over. Oh, go get a beer. Go get a shot of something. Here we go. Part 2. Changing my name to name Jojo. Oh my fucking Christ. We're gonna go back. Hang on. Start again. Changing my name so Joe screams Arak Macarena and where is your power armor? Schnorlax in Joe's basement isn't that bad. Review the Steam Deck 10 out of 10. Is Diego Garcia make advertisement Demetrius Papagiorno is Kidbikins I American Idiot Boofner Antoine Horton Rebel Blood 80 it's Stephen Christensen All Games Video sub to Screeper on Wise Shameless Plug Gay so Console Sims Tears Binary Deviant Raven Blood Rod Hen Thigh. Okay. Almost done. Justin Mebran, Roy Stoical Mechanical, Resonance, Extreme the Wolf 7, is Toonie Wayne, Joe Taku Puddin, Tane, Joey Scoops Jidge, Retro is Joe's dad, it's Westa Wannabe, Hobo Villa 310 Char, Joey's robbed from the creator of the year, it's Veg, it's Rob C. Kurt Allen's back, pat yourself on the back if you got this far, it's Wax Enjoyer, the group of Banana, and then that's the fucking end of it. Oh my lordy. Huh. Oh my god, I just had a heart attack that I wasn't recording. I was. All things considered, that was pretty fast for a Doofus Club shout out, actually. So leave a comment in the comment section if this was not worth doing. And if you cringed with me, K Toodles.